Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, our Impact Wrestling fam? Welcome to episode 121 of the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. My name is Jeff, and alongside me is the speedball Mike Bailey, to my Josh Alexander. It's Lucha, everybody. What's going on, buddy? Respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
How we doing?
Man, we'll save our opinions for all of that because I think we could spend probably an hour talking about the hour match.
We should just to, keep the gimmick, you know what I'm saying? Might as well.
Keep it alive.
Mm-hmm.
No, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, you guys can see there. We got a Moose update for you. I know I've been talking about him and his contract and the way he's been booked pretty fishy. So we'll talk about that at the end. My ROH thoughts. Why is it relevant to Impact? Well, you find out. Hey, Datia, what's up, Datia? We got some Bullet Club for Lethal Lockdown. We got some of your guys, Cliffhanger, Fantasy Booking, Lethal Lockdown, Bullet Club teams, 4 dudes and at least 1 knockout. So we'll talk about that. And then it's Team Canada finally forming. It feels like it. We just hinted at what we're going to talk about. I think all plays into it. But let's hit our plugs and then let's move on this I think rather fun episode of Impact Wrestling. So first, you guys know every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. BST, Talking Bloody Nonsense. Craig and Nixon killing it there, man. Great episode last week there, giving a tribute to Mr. Len Davies. Want to get that right. And awesome there. And while you're at it, TBN chats, you can check out pointing his TBN chats with Nixon. Go check it out. Show him some love. And they'll continue to keep putting out these TBN chats. Let's move on to that. They this week did Smashing Mike. It was Craig with Smashing Mike. Another fun chat between with a wrestling. I'm all over the place. This is gonna be a fun one. It's something, man. It's the first snow of the year here, as far as like whatever. Like it's getting covered outside right now. So it's just been like a kid in a kid in the snow day kind of feel. And this episode is gonna be a lot of that. A lot of us having a good time talking about stuff, and of course, as I was saying, as far as our shows and fun, having a good time. Season finale of LOL TNAIW airs this Tuesday as well. This Tuesday. If you guys been checking it out, thank you. We appreciate it. It has no time relevance or relevance at all. It's all nonsense, but go hang out, watch it. We got some fun stuff on there.
Actually, Jeff lies. The only time relevance in that in any of LOL TNAIW is 420.
Yeah, that's true. Watch us then. Then we make a lot of sense, and it's really good. Shout out to Millard and Io who just hit the chat as well. Instead of just rambling, I just wanted to get our plugs in because everyone on this and the team that just entered the chat as well. Keep this thing going. I appreciate you guys. We got some fun stuff, including the Nonsensies, the 3rd annual Nonsensies to talk about at the end as well. That's it. We got some. We got to get it down to 4 so we can put it out to voting for you guys. You guys get a vote as well as the team. Critical Sting, what's going on? Our resident fact checker here, and the chat. But you guys, once again, never chat alone. Lifeblood of the show, the chat. We appreciate you showing up every Sunday live. Twitch.tv/TNAIWChannel. Shout out to the YouTube people who watch us there. I don't think we chat about Brock TNA top from last week. Okay. We need to? Did something happen? Is he showing up? Did he show up?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar showing up in the Impact Zone.
Oh,
now, from what Dad had said about his when he was in TNA and Brock was leaving WWE, if Dad could get Brock in TNA because Brock was asking how much that Kurt was getting.
But there's no new developments though, right?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, get all that out of the way. Numbers matter, sure. 1 fan at a time, 1 friend at a time, though. That's what matters most. The algorithm's getting messed up. We get a subscription. We get a goes away, comes back, goes away, whatever. It is what it is. The point that matters is you guys are here. week after week, we talk to you, you light up this chat, and you leave comments. So thank you to all you guys there, and then those who hit us up on Twitter as well. Speaking of people that hit us up each week, let's go to the power rankings. Let's get into power rankings. Power rankings committee, rather, if you want to join at Burt Macklin 11. I'm losing everything. Hit up Burt. You can join that way, or at TNAIWChannel on Twitter machine. Before I lose my mind, Lucha, is there something you're looking forward to on this power rankings before we hit it?
Nah, I just want to see what the final count is. So, because I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, the only reason why Josh and Speedball went out there and killed it like they did is because they were a little tired of the disrespect they were getting from the power rankings these last few weeks. So they wanted to cement their space atop the top 10 in Impact Wrestling. Did they? Let's find out.
You heard it here. Let's see. Let's roll it there from the man himself, the creator of the Power Rankings, and soon to be joining GoGo Power Rankings, Lucha. Here are the Power
Rankings. Number 10, number 1 contender Bully Ray. Number 9, hard to kill Mickey James. Number 8, tag team champions Heath and Rhino. Number 7, Sabin and Shelly, the Motor City Machine Guns. Number 6, The Design. Number 5, Savannah Evans and Tasha Steeles. Number 4, World Champion Jordan Grace. Number 3, X Division Champion Trey Miguel. Number 2, Speedball Mike Bailey. Number 1, World Champion Josh Alexander.
I don't think much to argue with there. Shout out, now that I'm a little less manic, shout out to the Power Rankings Committee who made that happen. There's all points of view, but I think this one worked out, man. It's a perfect measurement of reality, the champions, the who are the upper echelon right now on TV, but also on this episode who rocked out, man. So I think it worked out really well. You saw the 9 and 10. I have to admit, were a tie. Bully and Mickey were a tie. I usually give the tie to the champions. There were no champion here, both number 1 contenders. But here's an important fact that I want to bring up, and it plays to something later, and the fact of why I think they're both going to be 1 and 2 after Hard to Kill is because 250,000 views for the Jordan Mickey segment, 112,000 for the Bully segment. They both get numbers. Might be the TNA nostalgia, it might be whatever, but I gave it to Mickey because he doubled Bully. And Bully actually tripled the hour Iron Man match, which is, it's 15 minutes compared to hours, so I get it. But anyways, so there was that. And we also had a tie with Savannah and Jordan, man. Savannah, I see Io saying it. Was this Io in there? That she earned it. Savannah earning those points, man. Getting the win over Taya.
And not only getting the win over Taya, but, it's last week and, momentum. And Savannah's been on a hell of a run these last couple months here, picking up a lot of dubs, a lot of impressive dubs. So,
yeah, I think we'll see if your prediction comes into fruition. I really hope it does, and I think we might be talking about it in the fantasy booking later. It might all actually become reality. We'll see. Maybe not. Who knows? But good for them, man. Glad to see them. It helps that. It helps that Tasha resigned. It helps that Tasha resigned. But man, I think you give them the belts. I believe that. So that was Power Rankings. Just for the hell of it. There's the gun. All right. But how we got there? Let's get an Impact on Access TV. I can't wait.
Whoa.
You are our sound effects now. So with the smaller crew, they're running more longer segments. We talked about that last week. It gives us some deeper segments. It gives a lot of people, I think it gives most of the people still time to play or shine. But it gives us opportunity to have some bangers and matches, man. And we're going to skip over Iceman Intel because he talks about Scott, Josh, and Bully. We'll see what happens with that later. But Trey Miguel here on BTI defeating Jason Hodgin with the Lightning Spiral. I guess we'll talk about Trey more in depth later, but just the evolution of Trey. Could you be any happier with what's going on? We'll keep it that simple.
The only way I would be any happier is if he does start calling himself the Fresh Prince of Midair. But other than that, do what you do, Trey. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. And there's more with him later, obviously. But you can't. New Trey theme, by the way. I think that's Trey's singing Trey thing. Or right? Is it Trey?
Is that him doing his shit? That would be fire.
It sounded like Trey. Some Critical Stinger in there. You could look.
How Trey get to rap his own theme song before Chris Bay though?
Bay's in Japan.
But
we'll see
Bay is. Well, no, I can't say. I'm not gonna finish the slogan because that's gonna sound crazy coming from a guy. But
2022, man.
Well,
but
his knee pads say it. Bay is Bay.
Bay is Bay. What I want to say about Trey and Jason here, though, obviously there's a connection. Jason on the future cusp of being a relevant, and I mean relevant not in a derogatory term, but on a everyday, a week to week basis, the dude's going to be in the picture for the X division. Yeah. It has to be.
How Trey became.
Correct. And I really feel like, I don't know who it was in here, but a lot of people, hey, Burt Macklin in here. What's up, Burt? There was that question of, Trey needs to be elevated. And it just didn't feel right at the time. And that's, our love for Trey. We know our love for Trey. So it has nothing about him. It was just about stature. He had to get to that level of whatever. And this full Trey, full grown up Bart Simpson, full on Fresh Prince of Midair. It is really dope, man. Exactly what he needed to put him over that edge to where he could cash in whenever Destination X may be or whatever the hell he uses it. I don't know when the curriculum of when you can use your belt exists. Can you
I mean, we saw Frankie won it and 3 days later fucking vacated, so.
But either way, that's his trajectory right now, man. But right now the X division is in good hands. And that shit's dope. And it is the first time I'm excited to see that neon green on the X division title. So
facts.
There's that.
Wonderful choice of colors, Trey.
Yeah, right. Oh, that was the one thing I was going to say about them. Obviously, they have the connection there. Obviously, I put over Jason Hotch. Both looking like they're dipping in the same gear material there.
Yeah.
Is there something to that, or is it just coincidence? I don't know, but interesting. Maybe, hey, we're talking about brands. I think we're going to have that common theme here, Lucha, where we're talking about, and spoiler-free. We already talked about that. I want to know nothing.
Spoiler-free since 83.
But I see there's a lot of breadcrumbs that tells me that we're going from, if we have a skeleton crew, like when they came in, this regime, we're going to start creating brands and start building the wrestlers up through those brands. Have the crutches of the brands. And I think that's what's going to happen. And this first segment of Impact on Access TV is kind of that. I'm going to save my opinion here. I was hopeful here. And as a first test, I thought Diener, he passed. This was a decent promo. It was good. It felt in character of Violent by design. And I'll leave it there. But first up after that, as far as match goes, first up after that, our taglines. So we get our taglines. We love the attention to small details. And this is, a big detail, I guess, but very TNA-ish again. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have Heath and Rhino, the tag team champions, defending. Heath, by the way, looking in, I'm going back to WWE shape, which is interesting. And then versus Motor City Machine Guns. So this one, we're starting, unfortunately, with the disqualification right off the bat, but it's leading to the major players being involved. They're still involved in the tag team title picture.
Which is crazy.
It's passable. The match was what it was. They're going to make Heath be the worker there. Rhino come in on the hot tag. No shame in it. 2 viable tag teams for the division, now 3. That at least that they're presenting. Thoughts on the tag division, where we're at right now? And, I obviously we're not going to get too far ahead. Looks like that Motor City is going to face Heath and Rhino again this coming week. unless the graphic was wrong at the end. But thoughts on where they're going with the tag titles? Heath and Rhino having a long run with it, or is this just, where we at?
Well, I mean, my own personal opinion, I wasn't really expecting too much out of Heath and Rhino as far as length of the run because,
Same.
like, I mean, they're a great act, they're a great pairing, but we're not going to sit here and talk like they're the crown jewel of the tag division. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the reign has got to be transitional, I feel,
Yeah.
and even still, we got them in the division. We got major players swimming around. We got the machine guns swimming around. We got the real crown jewel of the tag division, in my opinion, over in Japan in the finals. By the way,
Yeah. That's for everyone saying how great their New Japan, boasting how great their New Japan relationship is. Impact just slowly proving it. Our two dudes are in the finals of. So.
I mean, as far as like the success, as far as stuff actually happening of substance within a New Japan pairing, we got to be killing the game because like AEW had Jay White for four-way, and I don't even think he won it. I don't even think New Japan won it. I think Adam Cole won that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not too sure, but on the flip side, Jay White came through and put on some good programs and some good matches with a lot of cats on the roster. So
yeah. Look, I don't. At the end of the day, I don't think it's a dick measuring contest. I think it's not going to come down to that. Is what I mean. It's like even though we're treating them well, I don't think how others. I don't think that affects how anyone else, and vice versa. But yeah, I think that as far as how they're treating us right now is exactly to your testament is how we've been treating them in comparison since. I don't think there's any strong arm in here. We need them and they've been kind to us. So next up is, well, I see I want to shout out to the guys in the chat here, always killing it. But I see Critical Sting mention Motor City being the ones that beat Heath and Rhino, so then that Ace and Bay can take off of Motor City Machine Guns. And when I say it at the top of the thing, I want to kind of wrap it up all right here with this about as far as very TNA-ish and what I feel with Bully and Mickey. I would not be surprised if we see a day very soon, especially with us going on DAZN, which is Bully, Motor City, and Mickey all being our champions. And the reason is, not only are those names and we're leading with our best foot forward, the three people who would take those belts off of them would be getting a TNA rub that they might not have yet. And I don't want to say TNA rub, but that Legends rub. And that's Macklin, who would beat Bully, Masha, who would beat Mickey, and Ace and Bay, who would beat the Motor City Machine Guns. I think those are our three people that are three products that we want to elevate everyone as a fandom. I don't know. I just think that would be a lot for those three up and coming products that we want to be our foundation pieces to take the belt off of. I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but just something to play with.
I mean, as far as the Mickey and Machine Guns part of it, I feel you. But I really think with Bully, we can still accomplish that without having to put the belt on Bully.
I think that's very possible too. And I see your side because that's where I'm 50-50 with that. Do I want that to be the case? I'm indifferent compared to when, day one of him coming back. But I just can see that being something where that's Macklin. Like that's their way of every up and coming dude they want to put over beats a legend. I don't know. Maybe not. But I agree with you. I think there's other ways, and I think we'll get to them maybe after the main event. We'll see. Next up is Josh and Scott, and Scott's going to grant Josh whatever he wants here. I wonder why. Lucha, you got any clue?
No.
Just two friends?
Two fellow Canadian lads, having a common enemy, which might force you to need to assemble a team.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see. I see Critical Thing saying I would not be able to stomach a Bully title run. I was saying it'd be interesting how they write off Bully. We'll see. I don't think.
I don't think we need to worry about writing him off anytime soon. Really, I feel like Bully, regardless if he wins the strap or not, he's going to be around for a while. We got some business to take care of.
I think so, man. I hope so. I enjoy it, man. And as far as stomaching it, I'm at the point where I can. And
Yeah,
it's because the proof is in the pudding as far as every doubter or even whatever you want to say about it, it's been entertaining and it's been executed well and it's been doing other things than elevating Bully. Not at any point on this, I'm like, oh man, this is about putting Bully over. It's not about that. Like, look at what Josh is getting out of this. Look at all the sides things that are happening because of this. It was a there's a word for it, just like the spark that kind of that sets that chain reaction. I don't know, man. I think he's just that, and see what happens. We'll see. And I don't know what happens with Bully. I see aces and eights before Bully leaves eventually. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Spoiler free. Since I'm at 86, I'm not gonna date myself to 83, but
I was born in '91, so it doesn't even make any sense to me.
um,
It just rhymes and it sounds cool.
right. But speaking of sounding cool, maybe not. Who shows up next are Swinger and the Dice Man, and dude, first of all, Johnny Swinger needing 50 wins to get what he from and Josh just gets it whatever he asked for. Swinger, I hope they Goldberg this streak and they give him his 50 wins. I don't give a shit. Give them to him. Give him the 50 wins. And then Dice Man, dude, Zicky with that line. Nice to finally meet you. To Scott, weak. I was weak. It was weak. Just perfect.
As hell.
Yeah. But we're moving on, and for something that we were begging for a while, which was character and that creativity and that Impact had. We knew the budget was what it was, or is what it is, maybe a little better now. But they always made it feel like, oh, they were trying to hide the fact of that. Like there was clever lighting, there's clever ideas, there's clever segments. We always had something, the Rascal segment, Treehouse and so on.
Yeah.
This Jordan and Mickey thing was another example of just
oh my god,
just executing. Look, Jordan made it up to number 4. I know that means nothing, but and she's world champion. But in that little segment is in number 4, and Mickey still made the rankings because it resonated with people. It was an interesting moment that you don't see that all the time. You have a photo shoot with 2 people who are getting that. Oh, one of those pictures done. They hate each other. You know what I mean? The weigh-in kind of pictures that we get. And I thought this was an excellent use of something so simple.
And how it ended with, that last picture. And then when they took it, it became the poster. What?
Production. And booking, man. They're on another level. And this is one of those things where I feel like we're getting back to where we were. And I would love to know, as much as I don't want to know what goes on behind the curtain all the way, besides what we hear and, I've seen play out. I would just love to know what causes these lulls. Because when you're this good, there can't be anything other than maybe some scheduling conflicts, injuries, people not showing. Something has to be, because when you just get deflated. They forgot how to book for 6 months or whatever people say. There has to be.
Maybe there's a part, there's got to be a part of it that we're just not seeing, where I guess the shuffling of the deck, what I'm saying? And we always say, well, wait.
Yeah.
We're always thinking about how things were on the last hand, but we're not on that hand anymore. We're on a different hand.
Right.
So, what I'm saying? What won you the game last hand ain't going to win you the game. Did it?
Right. And I think that's, it's, I don't know, man. I think a lot of it is, I don't want to say coincidence, because I don't want to unbury some of the kind of lull we were in. I'm not going to hide that. There was a point where we were just like, what the hell is going on here? And then you
remember how we were on the show a few weeks. There was a stretch where we were just like,
right. And now looking back though, and that's why I try to be optimistic about it, is I try to think about that, the breadcrumbs follow the breadcrumbs. look at the, and I mentioned, I think it was Quinn Shines where I answered back about the Knockouts division. There's always something if you look at it. The Good Brothers kept extending their contract. Well, that's one entity that you have to, okay, yeah, we're going to keep them for a little bit. Let's keep working them into some. You have Honor No More cats. Are they going to? There's a lot of people who are not here now that probably are the answer to why the booking was the way it was. So let's move on though. I love the crew we have right now, and I think that's still going to change. As far not how my love for them, but as far as what the crew looks like now to what it's going to become. But right now, I think it's a fun spot. We're building again. It feels like when the regime just came in.
Now, I'm not going to spoil anything. Like I was saying off air, I do know some spoilers, at least from the first day. But after you see what they taped, you're going to love the crew even more.
I'm down.
Little things.
Okay. Hey, little big things, man. That's all you need sometimes. You don't need, we don't have the ability to hoard talent. We don't. So the utilization of that talent and who we bring in and create is what's important. So I'm excited to see what happens. But next
we
up
may not be able to hoard, but we can develop.
There you go. Love it. And speaking of developing, Savannah Evans here, who we both, man, since day one. We saw her debut in Impact Wrestling.
I coached her to a victory in a Monsters Ball 4-way.
There you go.
Convinced.
Oh, I wasn't there. You were there. That was second, right? Second team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, second.
But hey, they're picking up the win, and she's getting a big one over here at Taya Valkyrie, man. That's a big win, not only for giving Tasha and Savannah another reason to get a rematch, but also because it's Taya Valkyrie. And this is Savannah who's up and coming. So, yes, the idea of what we want is Savannah and Tasha to win the titles, Taya and Death Dolls to break up a little bit so we can have another tag team that's solidified. But at the end of the day, Savannah's breakout, Io's saying it there, the breakout 2023, it's got to go tag champions, then eventually separation into her, what she will become. So I'm excited. We will see. Now, speaking of that, next up was Bullet Club video package, and they're 6-2, or they were 6-2 as of Thursday. They are now in the finals, and Bullet Club looking good. Look at that, another someone resigns and then someone gets pushed. What's the odds of that? What's the odds? But someone we're going to talk about there a little bit, and I've been alluding to for to some of your demise is Moose up next, and he's choking out Bhupinder. Bhupinder, this is me talking to you, buddy. Aren't you fed up? Don't you want some help? Don't you need some friends, Bhupinder?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know what Moose wants? Moose wants Joe Henry. He wants Joe Henry. Yeah. Hey, man. Look. Besides joking his pronunciation of his last name, because I catch myself doing it too. Moose and Henry is another feud that's just going to elevate that belt, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're just getting it's just like Christmas wish list. Like, it's like.
Because it's like no matter how we, how everything looks after this is all said and done, like whether Moose wins the DMC or Joe Hendry beats Moose to, and defends the DMC on him, like that's big.
Who cares? Yeah, that's the point. Is right now it's either way that belt is taken care of.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all we could wish for. There was a time, I think, and that was part of the hard part of doing the power rankings and then talking about it here, when a lot of that lull was the champions weren't the focus, man. It didn't feel like that, right? And now every fucking championship is just the focus of, look at it. I mean, we're talking about the X Division title. We just talked about the tag, yes, because they're on the show, but they all have something going on. There's a feud. There's not a who's going to win #1 contendership. Who's going to, like, there is something going on in all this, man. And this is just night and day to where we were when we were crying ourselves.
We got world title rivalries with meat on the bone.
Yeah.
We got the X Division that's not only growing strong, but we got a strong champ who's on some other shit. Like,
and dude, This is all taking place. Yes, it's on Access TV right now in the States, but it's on DAZN in 170 countries. So 5-year plan, man. Let's keep this going.
This was year 5.
This is year 5, and that's with the pandemic. Let's be real here. This is with 2 years of shit shut down. Okay, and still fighting this horrible narrative of people. So, let's see if that opens up with Twitter. Imagine all Impact people were shadow banned. like, oh, Impact, no, don't let them die. We'll see.
Nope.
Next up was Delirious' message to Eddie. I was gonna save this for later, but obviously, hey man, I'm a mark for ROH, and I'll talk about that later. But I do have to. Last week I said Eddie and Delirious had a match that I can recall, and I looked it up just to fact check myself. And someone's got to help me out here because I feel like, yes, he was the booker, but there felt like there was a time where they were both on some cards together. And I just thought they had wrestled, but someone checked that out for me. Either way, I'm excited. This coming week, we actually get Delirious for Eddie. Obviously, we'll get to why we didn't get it this week. But this one, I have a star next to Lucha.
Dope touch, by the way.
Oh, yes. As far as how they, oh, sorry, we can't make it this week. Yes, love it. One of my biggest pet peeves was Killer Kelly versus Tasha, that one match in the pre-show. It's like, oh, 6 minutes left, 4 minutes left, 2. It's like, how's this going to... Come on, they're going to have to wrap it up in 30 seconds. Like, why'd you do that? Like, fuck it. Play around with it. Break it up.
Do some fun shit.
And they'll do that in a couple segments. But first, I want to get your opinion, Lucha. And I want to unbiasedly... Right now, we have the design. So we had Violent by Design. This is the design. I thought that works for a name for Diener because Diener does not work as a true, like, to take someone seriously. I can't do it. So we have the design. They were what Eric left behind. They created, right? And Khan here, they're putting the juice behind him. Khan, who, look, I like Khan. He's believable. He has a good look. He fits in what Violent by Design was. I don't know what Violent by Design or the design's going to be. We'll talk about that. But he gets a big win here, picking up the win over Sami Callihan. So my question to you is your thoughts on the design and where they're headed, and what your first impression of them are, whatever. And then English. And then Sami Callihan, what a team player, dude. This dude is, man. He, at the end of the day, when his career is over, and we're talking AJ, we're talking Dan, we're talking these people, Joe and Angle, Josh.
Sammy.
Yes, Josh and Sami have, especially Moose, of course, they've solidified their place here. And Sami he always never fails, no matter if it's what he does with Wrestling Revolver and helping, bridging some things there. Just what a good dude to have on your team.
For sure. Yeah, I love me some Sami. Sami, and I mean, people always want to talk about, I guess, winning world titles or whatever. He only had one reign that was kind of meh, but still, at the end of the day, like, look at sometimes you win more by losing, and fucking, that's what it was. Sami was presented as like our last hope against Kenny Omega. You know what I'm saying? And got demolished. Yeah. So shouts out to Sami. I'm cool with the design because it's like VVD Final Form almost. You look at like Khan is kind of in a way like Final Form EY, just fucking unhinged and violent. Oh man, I used the F-bomb. I was trying to save all of them for the Josh and Speedball match.
Yeah.
But anyway, and what's his name? Angels? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Angels evolve it's like a Pokemon evolution. You go from Diener to Angels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then really all we need is evolved Rhino.
Okay. See there. I'm down with that because Heath, I think, is, like I said, I think he's in. I'm getting ready for a return look.
Unless Diener is evolved EY, which is crazy to think about, and Khan is evolved Rhino.
Lucha, I'm going to be real here, man. and this really hurts me to say this, because I, as a human being, as a talent, as a person who has made me laugh and entertained over the past few years, many years, was to run with ODB and TNA.
Yeah.
This is really bad. Um, it look, it feels like I like Khan, like the design. I get it. You don't want to take Violent by Design because EY did all of that to produce this group, and it's a generic. I don't mind the name, but it hurts them, hinders them that they now have to create their own brand, like that Violent by Design was, and now they're white and black. The design. Okay.
This is still, but we're still on the path that EY told Diener to do. Basically, he said to find your own shit. You know, so
I agree. I am optimistic and I am hopeful because my love for Cody Diener. Okay, I think he has the talent. I hope he proves. I guess there are doubters. I see doubters in there. I don't think that he has the talent. The problem is and this isn't me saying this group will never get over. I like Khan. I think you got a good piece there. Angels is going to take a while for me to get over on me at least. The height is one thing. I don't want to bury any. I'm hoping the best, and I don't want to get too far into that. But Diener feels like this is his World Elite. This is the band. This is him trying to break the mold of what was Eric Young, because you had to go through this as well. So the greats get over. He will figure this out. But the problem is when you give him Vincent's clothes, you tell him to go out there, and you make him look like he smelled farts all day. Like that's like he's just cheesing it.
Yeah, I wasn't
Bro.
with the.
He's cynical. He's not cynical, bro. He looks like I want to go out for a drink with him, and I don't even drink. Like he looks like a fun dude, and I want this to work. I want him to be the dude. I feel like Eric said, this is me handing this to you. Now it's your time to run with this. If they're not going to go the darker route, which is what they teased with that beginning thing, I just don't get Alan Angels going out there all Mike Bennett happy, and I just don't get the vibe. Like, what is the vibe of this group? Is it maniacal and cynical? Is it new churchy and evil like Khan? Or is it happy-go-lucky, backward hat, one-earring Alan Angels thing? I don't get it. And I hope they figure it out. And I'm sure they will, because I can't say that they've proved us wrong every single time with everything else, and this can be the exception. I just think this needs some work and some time, and I hope they figure it
out. See, I mean, I'm hopeful because I'm, optimistic Oliver.
And that's usually my approach. And that once again, I think the good ones break through. I think the great ones get over. And I think this will be, at least for, I won't get into that. I'll be very optimistic. For Diener, I think that he will break through. Give him a new name. Give him time to develop or acting classes. I don't know. But something that if he's going maniacal, he needs to look and feel maniacal. And that did not feel maniacal. That looked maniacal. And they didn't look like a tan. I don't know.
Creepy.
I don't know. It was just odd. Anyways, I hope. But here's the silver lining to this. It's another group. It doesn't need to get over tomorrow. No. If there's anyone, look, I'm not taking away what Diener did for Violent by Design. Don't think, oh, EY was the genius and now Diener just can't figure. He's going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out as a creative group, or as a brand. But Sammy's going to do his best to in this feud to get them over. Who better on a creative aspect to help get veteran leadership from than that person in your feud? So, the silver lining is that it will happen. I just don't know what level. Like, where do you see, honestly, the product of what you saw them on there? Where do you see their ceiling? Do you see Diener in the X division winning that title?
I don't see Diener fighting anymore, honestly.
You think he's a manager?
Yeah, that's where I'm at with the whole situation. I'm not, because I've completely taken Diener out of the equation as far as a competitor goes. Because, I mean, you think about it and remember when he was with VBD and VBD was even at its height, if he was in the match, more often than not, he was taking the L.
Yeah.
And more often than not, he wasn't even in the match. He's just out with the flag. You know what I'm saying? So it's less about him in the ring. It's more about everybody else. The ceiling I give him is a tag with maybe Khan and Angels, maybe.
I agree with you. I think they can pull that off. Once again, I'm not writing Angels off whatsoever. I just think that he needs to work on not getting Angels over. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe this is what they're asking him to do. But you don't need to get Angels out there. You need Angels to fit into the design, and then the design will get Angels over. They all gotta buy in. They gotta buy in and feel cohesive for this thing to work. I don't think that's the case. The Nuggets they've been dropping about Diener's overrated, or excuse me, underrated, which in many cases he is, but in the ring underrated, and he's the leader. I think he's the leader of this, and I think they're gonna. I think they have big hope for him.
I mean, for sure, the leader. I'll give him that, but not like a in-ring leader.
Look, man. If he could, you see, he's growing out the brum. Grow out the brum. Have that crazy, scary. There's one scene of him in the jail when he has the long hair and he's getting the water poured up right before he gets into VBD. That works.
That look.
The creepy, that will work, man. It's just.
But then that's borderline Wyatty with
they already gave him Vincent's gear. I said, oh shit, here you go. Wear some white. Go out there. They already did it, man. There's only any look. Wyatt's one of those people, and we'll just mention this now. Shout out to Eric Young, I guess, going back. There's a reason Wyatt said he said I was speaking violence. You know.
You're talking violence.
You're talking violence. Anyways, let's end off in a bigger thing. Once again, I think they'll be fine. This booking team, I think, will take care of them. And this isn't me cleaning up whatever. I just feel like they're gonna be okay. It's gonna be. It's still. I don't know if I'm coming off. I'm a little in the treehouse. I don't know if I'm coming off overly bullish about them. I don't mean to. Is my point.
Look, based off of where we think the company's going as far as brand warfare or whatever, there's honestly, plus VBD, Violent by Design, The Design, whatever you want to call them, Sanity. They've already kind of made their historical value. You know what I'm saying? With the last couple of years, so they've already got that value in the name, and on top of that, there's other brands that we need to get more established and
I know time
situated, so there's no rush on the design to.
I just want to make
sure the tag titles at Rebellion.
I just want to make sure that they know that it's not where it needs to be right now. That's all.
Oh yeah.
No. Oh damn. Yeah. So we got a lot more. I got unfolded paper. Next we got Josh and you got Sneak Tommy there. Not now. But we get a BTI flashback where Trey picks up the win against Hotch, which we already talked about. Gia's interviewing him. Love Trey once again. Love everything he's doing. Unfortunately, gotta kind of speed this up a little bit. But he threatens to spray paint Gia or alludes to that. Crazy Steve comes out. We got a match. Crazy Steve gonna try to get some retribution for his friend Black Taurus, I guess. That's the way to put it.
I was taking that as Ace Austin sent Crazy Steve a text when he saw Trey was getting a little too crazy. Like, hey, yo, go check up on that for me.
Yeah. Well, I see Parkside Millard saying Diener is the leader, but I would like it if Sinister Minister took over the design. Now you're talking. I think that's another layer that you could do. Once again, this isn't broken. It's one freaking week. But those are the little big things you could do to spit shine that group. Man, they'll be fine.
I'm looking at the Good Father in another position in another group. Me personally,
well, I think there's a lot of changing parts that we're going to see in the next. Hard to Kill is going to be definitely the 2023 is going to be a rinse and kind of thing.
Yeah.
Next up is Josh giving an open challenge. This is important because one bully declines and says he wants it Hard to Kill. Interesting. And then Speedball accepts, and the rest is history. We have a banger of a match. Like I said, we could spend an hour on that, but there's obviously things we want to get to. We want to give them their praise. We will do that. But I'd said this off air, and I'm going to say it again because I think this is the best way I could say it. Well, let me just say Josh's reign first of all, because last week I don't want to get anything misconstrued. I got a little message from, not from Josh, from we were just talking in chat. Josh's reign, once again, we'll go in history books, especially at matches with this, is having a long run for a face with banger matches. There is nothing wrong with that. It's the third right now. It might be more, and it's a great damn run. At the same time, there was no meat on the bones. He was fighting number one contenders and whoever asked for a match. There's nothing wrong with that, but what do you do with the face? Very little. So to have this match, I thought really solidified what they want in Josh's reign. And it's okay if he loses. At the same time, if he doesn't, this just washed away, because we've had all bangers throughout, but this hour-long match, this is still a great reign. I want to get that clear.
Yes.
But two, what this did, Lucha, and this is the part I was alluding to that I told you off there, is this took 2 months of boring segments of, I respect you, Mike. I respect you, Josh. I respect you. When Josh needs backup and Josh is forming a team, no one is going to ask why, Canadian Mike Bailey is stepping up next to Josh Alexander.
So a team full of Canadians?
So you say, Lucha. So look,
Well,
I'm going to let you run with that because I know you got a lot probably to say on it, man. And something we've been clamoring for forever and ever and ever. But it feels like we're headed there. And if this is just the first whatever of it, even though I think you let out the first one last week, talked about IPWF and Scott taking some bumps. You already got 3 guys who are Canadian and on the same page, or at least have each other's respect.
And the only thing missing now is for Rich Swann, who also has a beef with the same man, to be a fake Canadian, a la primetime Elix Skipper. Wait, was he actually Canadian?
No.
That's what
Mike Awesome.
/
Major
Guns / Hacksaw Jim Duggan
/ Jack Evans
/ Jack Evans. So, there's a long list of Team Canada members that aren't Canadian. So, boom, there's our Team Canada: Josh, Speedball, Coach, and Rich.
You want Rich, really? That's what you...
But why not?
Save him for Sammy, man.
I mean, fuck it, why not? And
yeah.
I already used one F-bomb earlier.
we got get 3.
Something. I meant to save all of them for this match, but
you have to have the first knockout representative in this Team Canada. There's too many great Canadian women that have been in this company not to be represented. It's not going to be Gail. It's got to be active. I think we
can't have 2 members of Office in the stable.
Oh, fair. Well, that sucks because I want Lance in there too. But Taya or Taylor.
That's different.
Yeah.
Lance is different because Gail is pretty much female Scott, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I see Millard in there saying anti-hero Macklin versus heel Josh is going to be one of the best matches ever in TNA Impact history. If that's the way it plays out, I'm totally cool with it. I think there's tons of different ways you could go with Macklin and Josh getting back together, even with Bully winning or Bully losing. So I think there's a lot of ways you could get to that. It would be interesting. Be interesting if anti-hero Macklin becomes that because he puts Bully out of the company. Who knows? We'll see. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm with you. I still think they should throw. So whoever mentioned that, Aiden Prince, I think is a good shout out there. He's been on the roster page forever. So use him there, and then we obviously need our knockout. So anything you want to hit with that last match? I mean, there's so much you could say about it, man. It's an instant classic. It did so much for both men involved and the company.
The pile driver at the end where Speedball was holding on to the rope and Josh just yanked his ass and Oh my
Yes,
God.
beautiful. There was also that
Oh
one where they
man.
both went to the outside and just Josh, just landed crazy. And you know what I want to say is it is you got to give these guys kudos as well because yeah, maybe in person it wasn't an hour or whatever bullshit you want to spew or whatever people say. But for a TV show, would it end up being an hour? Like if on TV was it an hour as well?
With commercial breaks and
With
all
commercial,
that, yeah.
still, either way, uh, it's harder. I feel when you have commercials in between, when you have all these things that are on a TV match to have an hour banger and still keep your momentum and still testament to those dudes, man. Because it's one thing to do it on pay-per-view where it's everyone knows it's going to be an hour. You got the whole show. You got a segment blocked out. They were kicking off. I mean, fake, but
And
they're
it's
delirious and just good shit, man. Great
and
shit.
it's also one thing to start your show with an hour long match. And just pretty much take the whole because you can if you like that was my whole thing about the AEW title match that they did. I think it was Hangman and Danielson that started the show that went a whole hour or something like that.
Okay.
Like, how would you start the show with that? That's what you end with because after that, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I can go home.
Yeah. To each their own. I could see that. I know we used to do it with that gauntlet, right? We would have that gauntlet. Sometimes would open the show, sometimes maybe, but I like the fact that it wasn't supposed to be a main event. This was an
Yeah.
open challenge that pushed off the main event to next week. So it just greatly done on a lot of different aspects. It felt natural. It was great, and it did 2 months worth of bullshit segments to make these guys besties. Anti-hero Macklin winning at Rebellion. Yeah, that sounds nice. I like that. But let's see what you guys thought of the episode. Lucha, you sent them to me, and I don't have all of them, but I know that 69% said A. Did you guys agree? Was this an A show for you? I just they could have took a dump for the first hour of the show. That last one, the last match,
There was nobody with any little D energy this week,
and no
which is
accident,
great.
little D energy, right?
No accidental little D's
Oh wait,
either. We got the blue chew. We're cool now.
oh good,
So
we're good.
only reason why I threw out the blue chew is because I watch it on Access every week.
Okay.
And you get bombarded with Blue Chew extends Children's Foundation, St. Jude's,
Yeah.
CBD water.
What a what a bundle of odd pairings.
You know the demographic for Impact if you watch on Access because
50-year-old dudes.
honestly, yeah.
Hey man, that's got the money right now, so screw it. When you're leading also is top 10 80s hits or whatever sometimes, or your second biggest hit on the channel. But either way, man, good on the ratings, the Nielsen ratings that matter. Impact breaking over 100K again. I heard that. So seems like you guys enjoyed the episode. I definitely enjoyed the episode. Lucha did. But we got some more things I want to hit before we wrap up this. I'm going to try to get it. We got some hot topics. One I want to get to first because I already made that mention of EY looks to be on his way over to over the E, right? It just seems that way. I don't know if it's with the braid thing, but I heard that in a clip and I was like, wait a second, that sounds violence. That seems a little intentional. But I think Chicken a la King is someone who commented. Shout out to you, first one I've ever seen. Talking about WWE trips hoarding talent. Yeah, it seems to be the nature of the game right now between the big two there. And if this is what we're getting because of it, creating brands, creating different little things to keep and elevate some talent and future stars of tomorrow, as Lucha said before, right? I'm not mad at it. But yeah, I see what you're saying. And the reason I'm using that is one to, talk about the EY thing and also shout out that comment. But I keep mentioning Moose and how he's booked and it feels like they're trying to use all his dates, before he pieces out and getting information. He is 6 months. He's got 6 months left on his contract, so half a year to keep an eye on how they book Moose. Does that mean he's out? No. At the same time, the way that people are throwing money at veterans on both these shows, you never know.
But
He might be a Giant Quinn next week on AEW. So.
yeah, but look at Giant Quinn. That's just a fake deal. But look at the same breath, you want to talk about AEW hoarding talent, you want to talk
Yeah.
about WWE hoarding talent. Impact's doing their own brand of hoarding.
I mean, the young up and comer.
And then with Moose and his contract coming up, I guess he was one of the first ones that got the first initial joint like a year or so ago. Because 6 months, isn't that also what's rumored for Deanna as well?
Oh, is it?
I think I could
I
be
don't know.
wrong, but
I just know his was 2 years, and we're on the quarter of it, last quarter.
So, and then we just locked up Trey, not Trey, well, probably Trey, but we just locked up Bay, Ace not too long
Yeah, the
ago,
future's looking bright.
Jordan. You know what I'm saying? We're hoarding our own, so it'll be interesting to see when that time comes. Does Moose, would Moose fall into that, Moose and Deanna, or
Right.
would they go Deanna? If she leaves, it's more understanding in a way because she really wasn't ours in the first place. Granted, neither was Moose, but
Yeah, I think today's a little different, man. It's in all the sports now. It's power to the player, power to the wrestler, and then in free agency, and so I think anything can happen. But I think honestly the opposite. I think Moose would be the one that would be one big run on a huge stage. Um, and Deanna, especially, I hate saying that you don't have to work with your spouse, but Macklin and her starting something as the maybe male and female, at least one of each of foundation pieces for this company. So it's possible.
dude, could you imagine if like we get a Deanna gimmick change and she kind of like becomes like female Macklin
I just
almost?
don't. I don't know. Remember she had that I'm tough role for a little bit.
Yeah, when she was wearing black jeans and the tucked in shirt for a grip. I actually like that look.
It was a cool. I mean, she looks great. Anything she does, it's
That's
just
fact.
it's just whatever. No, but not to whatever. Look, I think Moose has done a great job of representing this company and growing into the superstar he is. And if he deserves a run outside, he deserves a run outside if he wants one. At the same time, the way he's booked, the way he's treated, the relationship he has, the family, the ZNA family that's within Impact. I just think he has a lot to keep him here as well. But just something to keep an eye on. Just because he's putting over people on in this last string, and it looks like he's going to be more active. Was he injured for a bit? I don't know. I think that was the case for some time, but hope he stays with us. But something there. I know I said I was going to mention ROH thoughts, but I quickly want to mention a John Skyler, someone who you said, "Oh, John Skyler's still with us." Like, yeah, he's on the roster page. Well, he wasn't with us. His contract lapsed, and he's just been on the roster page for a bit. But he's officially with a multi-year contract with Impact Wrestling, and this goes to what Lucha's saying: investing in some people who will be the stars of today, present, and the future of this company and others. And this is another guy that I think they can work with. I've always liked his attitude, as far as what he puts out there in the ring and his look. We talked about it off air a little bit.
Yeah, he looks like he just does not give a shit about being there. But
right,
it's
right.
just like that look is also like, oh man. So as soon as that bell rings, he's gonna fuck someone up, and
Right,
he does.
right. So, and I think him and Macklin would be interesting. They have a cool look. I
Yeah,
think there's a lot of
him and
people.
Sammy.
There's a lot of things with this branding and about having an anchor in if it's Dean or Diener in the design, and if it's Sammy and OV or whatever he creates, and if it's the Team Canada, you have an anchor, and then you can boost with the star power of that main person, everyone else around there. So, and that's my concern with design too. That without losing Eric, they need whatever, but they'll get it.
I feel you because based off of compared to everybody else, you got like you said the anchor,
Right.
and then the one that I guess is the second in command or the one that's really the one that's going to be built up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's how it works with all stables. But with the design, with the anchor being Diener, can we change his name? Can we
That's what I
like
say.
start
I think
calling him
they're
Cody again?
Cody. Right, Cody Deaner, that could work. If it depends on what they do with them, man. We've only seen a sample, and that's and I want to make that apparent. It's not a backtrack whatsoever. I want to see. I want the proofs in the pudding. I'm still not positive, but I
If
think
he
we need to
brings
see.
his cousin back and puts him in the design, then honestly, that takes them from about a 2.5 to a 7.3 quarters. I
Oh,
ain't
that's a
gonna
huge.
lie.
Yeah, yeah. That's I wouldn't even give him that low, but I hear you. I agree with you. I think it's a huge jump if you add Jake something back to this, but I want to see what they do. And once again, I don't want to put I don't doubt Diener's ability. I just got to see him as a leader. We haven't seen it, and we're going from having the anchor of EY to his second command saying, "Oh, here you go, deuces." You know, we're not getting a feud between them two. We got a stabbing and a peace out. So we're not getting Diener put over. We're not, you know, we have to. He got put over in a in a jail murdering his. So it's gonna
We
take
can call him Jake Diener
Jake. Oh, if they go back to some Jake's, yeah. Oh,
because
because he would have to drop the
you
something.
know, yeah, people don't like the something. I love it because it's just it's something. You know,
Right.
he's just something. Like, ain't he something? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. But if you're gonna change it, just make him a Diener and
You know,
throw him in the design and just have him fuck everybody up.
I think it matters what they do with Diener first. Is his name going to be something different? The designer, the design. We'll see what they do with him. I think there's some rumors of name change, so we'll have to play off that. But there's three big things I want to hit up really quick. First of all, is ROH thoughts. I know I said that on the thing as well, so I want to make sure I hit on that. Being I won't say day oneer, but as a TNA day oneer, but ROH pretty damn close after that. Thanks to Johnny. Shout out to Johnny, by the way.
Shouts out to Johnny Matt.
So yeah, man, you know, I loved ROH, and so I'm always gonna care what happens with that brand. Was so stoked when it first came through with Gresham and all that, and it transpired on an Impact. Unfortunately, it was bought and now we'll be on a streaming service for $9.99. And get a pay-per-view every 90 days or something is what I just read. I don't stay up to date on the day-to-day, but that seems the latest information on it, man. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing because you have, and now I heard the pay-per-view was great, and that's awesome. You got Claudio, you got the Briscoes all getting big wins. It's just not the same. It's not the same for me.
And I
That's all
mean,
I really got. Just sad.
and I wasn't even really, that high on Ring of Honor. Not saying that I didn't like it. I just
You had no
didn't
stake in the
watch
game.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I really didn't get on the Ring of Honor until like real shit until Cody Rhodes got there, started running his game
Right.
and had the Ring of Honor, the greatest shit in the world, honestly, to this day, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
but I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I was saying it for the longest, between Dark and Elevation, both of those shows to me serve the same purpose. So there would have been no harm in taking one of them, repackaging that to Ring of Honor, and then using that to kind of like position themselves to get a better deal, a better like TV deal. Pretty much saying, well, look, we got something, that we can actually sell to people instead of Ring of Honor just taking up AEW time every week on TV. So I was wanting them to go on that route. Now I don't like that the TV is behind a paywall.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I felt like I know there's a free version, not a free version of Ring of Honor. I'm some Honor Club, but there's stuff that you can watch just by, what I'm saying.
Look, man, there's a couple other things I actually want to get to that we would have more fun talking about. So I'm just gonna say, look, this is why, even though I was a Tony defender, this is one thing I can't look past. You had Impact, who was in the game for it, who could have definitely utilized these wrestlers. I just feel it's a slap in the face. It was better off not being bought than
Yeah.
to be put on a paywall and then to blatantly lie that there was, we're gonna get a TV deal. When we get a TV deal, I see everyone talking about Critical Sting in there, Io talking about it in there. Now they're tuning their horn over Honor Club, and it's just sad, man, being an ROH fan because, hey, look, this could very well been where TNA was until Anthem and all that, and to see the legacy be, and then to see the Briscoes be behind a paywall, to see Claudio. I mean, sure, I'm sure he'll float around. To see, it's unfortunate when, you know, I
What's
don't know.
crazy is, even though I mean this might not make me, it wouldn't make me more inclined to give them my $10, but I mean this would be a better value for my $10. The only way that they could have, only thing they could have done to make this worth it, you know what I'm saying, is pretty much put all of AEW shit on Honor Club,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying, make Honor Club like the super AEW and Ring of Honor app where you got it
Well,
all there.
according to the press release, they're banking on our New Japan something or another. I don't know. It just, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, it just, this is an example of someone who, kid in a candy shop. Oh, I can have ROH, and then, but come on, man, think of the consequences of these I don't know, man. You could say consequences. They're still being, sure, 100. Same time, are they really? Are they really? Are they under a rock? What are they? It's sad.
Like, you know,
But I wish them
we could have
best.
had the whole Ring of Honor back catalog on Impact Plus.
Right.
We could have had both, because my whole vision for it, I wasn't even on some, you know, Impact one show, Ring of Honor another show. I was on some shit of just being Impact, but like the
Right.
resources of both coming
Right.
together. You know what I'm saying?
And
To
I
just
thought,
make a super company.
I think that's something we could fantasy book, and we'll roll right into our fantasy booking before the show ends. That we could fantasy book all day of what could have been or what should have been. We just know it would have been treated better. And my thing is it's, yeah, maybe not. I get what everyone will say. Well, not pay better. Yeah, okay, gotcha. And as I was saying there, he just simply bought it because preventing WWE. WWE wasn't the second highest to my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong, but check it. Look into that if anything's out. I don't think it was. The Get Packed had an interesting offer as well. Not
Based off
sure.
how the year started, you couldn't have told me they weren't going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to.
Hard to kill and after. Like,
But I will say, just look. It's not like these guys are all gonna get. They all have jobs. They're all gonna get showcased here and there. They'll get the occasional AEW rub. So good for them. But at the end of the day, I don't know. So talking about fantasy booking, though, we have to get to our Bullet Club booking. I want to shout out. So we've been doing the Elite the Lockdown, book your own, 4 dudes, at least 1 knockout thing for the past few weeks. The last Cliffhanger was Bullet Club booking, and we had Jamie Stay Ready, who said Bully. Now we're going to keep it to the Impact roster. We're going to try to at least, but he mentioned Bully, Ace, Bay, ELP, and Juice. Great team. Our buddy Chris Zaletta saying, for the knockouts, either Tasha, Tony Storm, or Gia. Bay, Ace, Kenta, Juice, and Chase Owens. I'm not a big Chase Owens dude, but yeah, both great teams. As far as what we're doing in-house, using that, I still think, I don't think, maybe that's not the route. Maybe they do something else, whatever. But I like Jamie Stay Ready's idea from a few weeks back of Bullet Club being Bully Club. Ace, Bay, Bully Ray, and you know what? I'm going to go 3 dudes and 2 knockouts because I'm going with Lucha. Because I think that's Savannah and Tasha. Savannah could hold her own anyways, and then we obviously saw in the Call Your Shot, Tasha can as well.
yeah. So even though, you know, he's gone through the portal or whatever, we can't use Jay White as far as, you know, being in-house our own, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine. I was just thinking maybe in the sense of like who could we give the rub? If we're using the brands to boost, who could we give who could we give the rub to, I guess. But yeah, do whatever you want.
I mean, I guess we can just do the Impact chapter of Bullet Club, because I mean, Jay White did say he wants Bullet Club in like all the companies, and he pretty much got it, except for there's no Bullet Club in NWA. No Bullet Club in MLW. Once he gets that, then I mean,
the takeover.
Exactly. And that always makes me laugh. I'm sorry, getting off topic though. People talk about Bullet Club being a dead brand, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really not. The only thing is there's the Bloodline has kind of came and surpassed that as far as
that's cool.
Wrestling brands, and then the Elite, even though that's a whole company now. But whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't. I will say this real quick on that, as far as the dead brand thing, just a dead brand thing. I understand because it's not why it's at heyday. They don't have AJ and Kenny. Okay, sure, whatever. But what a dead brand means to me is when that music plays, and when no matter who comes out, those people are dead silent. They don't put up the sign. They don't do it. They're selling T-shirts. They're in the crowd. People are doing the signs. People are oohing when the music starts. Who gives a shit? It's still getting people over, and that's all we're asking for, because we're trying to elevate people who need a crutch right now. Not, and I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So is that what you're looking to, though? Bully, or well, I don't know if you're with Bully, but Ace and Bay,
Savannah,
Tasha,
Savannah. Okay. I'm not gonna put Jay White in there because I'm gonna stick with it being the Impact chapter.
Let's do. All right, let's see who could we make Bullet Club. Who could we?
So then there's one more that we would have to throw in there. Ace Bay, Tasha, Savannah, and you know what?
Lay it on me. Let's do it.
Eddie Edwards.
Ain't he mad?
He's got the Japan appeal.
Oh, the Japan appeal, yeah.
I mean, we can go down the list. They got the jacket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Trey or Killer Kelly. Trey would be interesting.
Trey would be interesting. Trey would be to Bullet Club what Six was to the NWO.
Yes,
I feel.
I bow to that.
Based off of that, I'm gonna take Eddie out. As much as it's a great idea it would be to have Eddie Edwards in Bullet Club.
Go Trey.
We're gonna go with Trey. So I'm gonna put Trey in Bullet Club.
He's gonna slap that buzz killer on you, rip your arm right out of the socket. Wolfpack style. Thunder. What was that? Thunder.
Yeah.
No, Nitro. Nitro.
No, that was the Thunder.
No, he didn't. Well, he wasn't there for Thunder.
That's right. We had this back and forth this the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One day we'll do it. Our goal of making our new Nitro. Yeah, we'll do it.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Tasha Steele, Savannah Evans, Trey Miguel. That's Bullet Club.
Okay. Oh.
I'll throw Gia in there just for association.
She's too happy. I gotta see her. She just looks like she looks like a little deer, like a baby.
But
deer.
She's cool though. She's
cool.
Yeah.
You
know what I'm saying? That's all you got to be in Bullet Club is cool.
Chase Owens is in there. No, I see someone that Chase Owens is the crown jewel. Is that real? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm blind. I to be honest, I don't know enough. I just what I've seen. Jay approved Mia Yim as Bullet Club member by joining Styles' group. Cool, man.
He was like, yeah, Carl and Doc, they've been Bullet Club so long that I don't really need to, they don't have to run anything by me. They can, do what they want. So
good for her,
them, Uncle Alan and me and him. So it's a good look. It's a real good look.
So guys, let me know what you guys think as far as the Bullet Club booking. With this Impact roster, we've done Team Canada Lethal Lockdown, we did OVE, and we did VBD, which is now the design. So I guess we could go back and change that as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think.
Real quick, I just thought of a question. Had the Good Brothers and Mia Yim stayed in Impact, does she still join Bullet Club?
No. Because in Impact, what they provide separate is star power. That to put them together is something someone with an excess of talent can do. I mean, WWE has 100 people on that roster. They have the ability to put all leaders. You know what I mean? Like we can't do leaders. But it would still be cool. Jeff, watch her in AEW. Oh, Gia or Pro Wrestling Revolver. Yeah, different side. I mean, I saw the IPWF stuff. I know that's a little different too, but okay, yeah, I'll give that a try. But thank you. I want to get all our thanks out, obviously. There's obviously a lot to check out. GoGoPowerRankings. Lucha obviously joined in that very shortly. You got Talking About Nonsense, all of our crew. Check out the TNAIW channel. Subscribe. Get those numbers up. I know the 345 will always, whatever. We'll get there. Check out Impact this week. Angels versus Sammy. Heath and Rhino versus Motor City. Eddie versus Delirious. But the last thing I want to mention is kind of your cliffhanger, because I am going to do a on the 25th of Christmas episode. It's going to be, I'm just going to do a solo one where I run down, the stuff, because there will still be episodes. But we will also reveal the winners of our 3rd annual Nonsensies, the prestigious Nonsensies. And what the cliffhanger for you guys is we're going to start putting the 4 we narrowed down. We have about 4 nominations for each nominees. Love to hear what you guys have to think in the chat. I'm about to wrap this up, but light it up, and then in comments as well. But here are the topics. So you guys will vote. The polls will be out starting tomorrow. You guys will get a vote, or the poll results will be 1 vote. The rest of the team each gets a vote themselves, and that will be the winners. But first is we have Impact Plus Special. I know we had some nominate. Actually, let me pull that up, if I can pull that up really quick without ruining everything. And then I can tell you what we have. So for Impact Plus Special, we've knocked it down to 4. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. But we have Emergence, Overdrive, Sacrifice, and Under Siege.
All
right.
All of that.
What's the other one? Another one we have 11 here is the Golden Tongue, previous winner in 2020. We didn't do it in 2021, but 2020 was Ethan Page, so you're in company with Ethan Page. Right now we have 5, so let us know if you want to change any. We have Eric Young, Bully Ray, Joe Hendry, both who came later in the year, so I would understand. Matt Taven and Kenny King. So best talker is Golden Tongue. Best talker, who do you catch, and whatever. Hard to make an argument for Bully Ray and Joe Hendry, even though they were in the latter of the year. But
I'm just mad there's no Bobby Fish, because my man had a promo that was so powerful that one said shit.
I laughed for a week on that shit when you posted that in the chat. I was like,
where's the lie?
Where's the lie there, man? Somewhere in Albany. We have favorite pastime as well. Pastime is segment. So previous winners in 2020 were the Treehouse. 2021 was Swingers Palace. This year was a little less on those those segments, but we have the Influence Show, whatever you want to call that, when they did it together. Shout out to the Influence. We have Swingers Dungeon, which has been a reference point, so we can use there. We have the Learning Tree, which I think is the dark horse here, and then IPWF as a whole, because that's an annual one we get. So let us know there. Next is Drip. Who's got the new Drip Who Dis award, as it's been called. And 2020 was Taya. 2021 was Chris Bay. How can you argue with them? But this year, the nominees so far are Vexed. Chris Bay again, going for 2 Nonsensies. First repeat winner. Trey Miguel, which, especially towards the end of this year, how are you going to argue, man? And then Jessica getting one as well.
It's that damn jacket, man.
It's that damn jacket. That's what I was going to say. First, I was like, I get it because the colors, it's cool, it's different. Like, that jacket's cool, man. Jacket's cool. Next up is the Elix Skipper Spot of the Year Award. So 2020, we did not give it out. This is a new one of 2021. And Big LG and Joe Doring stage fall collapse was the winner there in 2021. 2022, the nominees are the PCO and LG Through the Ring. So LG could be a 2-time Nonsensy winner. We got a late edition and Diener killing EY. Josh versus EY, the TNA tribute that was there at Slammiversary. And then Josh's Bound for Glory suplex marathon on the outside. If you guys have anything else, let us know.
The German suplex to Boston and back.
Yeah, yes, sir. We also have Faction. 2020 we had as non-applicable. 2021 Decay. 2021 Decay 1.
Yeah.
So here we have our faction choices are Bullet Club, Honor No More, VBD, and Death Dolls. Death Dolls getting
Death Dolls!
Death Dolls.
Which would technically make Rosemary a 2-time winner as well. There's a lot of history on
A lot of history here. A lot of important Nonsensy history here. All right. We got the Forbidden Guest. This one's gonna be hard, man, because 2020 we didn't have
The
anything.
Kenny Omega Forbidden Guest Award.
Well, you're right. That's what we'll call it. But 2021 was Christian Cage. So the choices.
I feel like that was out of spite.
I feel as well. But he was the one who beat the guy who beat the woman. Anyways, ungrateful. Forbidden Guest, we have Frankie Kazarian, Suzuki, Yuya Uemura, and Jay White.
Can we count Yuya Uemura? And he signed to us, and he
Not
ours.
really. I mean, he's the whatever. I don't know. I mean, there was God as well. There's a lot of choices, so let us know. We can
God
always
did pull up this year.
God, that was IO one.
Didn't they win the titles too?
No.
No love to the Briscoes from this too. Wow.
Oh! Wait, are the Briscoes there? I thought you said did the God win the titles? Did the Briscoes? No, the Briscoes aren't on there.
Won.
All right, I think we need to figure this out. I
didn't even think of the Briscoes until just now. I was like, how the hell?
Yeah, Briscoes. That makes a lot of sense.
Because I know they won the titles.
Yeah, right. They had lost, or they beat. Good Brothers beat God. That's what.
Yeah, and kicked them out of the BC.
And the BC. Yeah.
That's what
had
they
that little
did. They
swerve. Next up is right. We got to breathe with Switchblade for 6 months. Oh yeah, we got him as well. That's true. There's some other. So
I just can't wait for him to come back because I know he's got some shit to do when he gets back.
It's bound to happen. All right, let's end this up here. I got a Dolphins game to see if they're good. But we have Santa's Little Helper and Grinch of the Year. Santa's Little Helper 2020 was Johnny Swinger, and 2021 was Eddie Edwards. Have a feeling that's not going to be the case this year. But we have Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, Mike Bailey, and Jordan Grace. All good faces. Santa's Little Helper's Face of the Year. And then Grinch 2020 was Sammy Callahan, and it was a double winner in 2021 with Moose and Deanna Perrazzo. Well deserved. 2022 is Honor No More, VBD, Masha Slamovich, and Bully Ray. Let us know. Two more. Jingle Jangle. 2020 was Moose. 2020 was Chris Bay. It's the hottest theme song of the year. Number one is Joe Hendry. I mean, that's hard, even though he was so little here for so little. But we have Bullet Club, Tasha Steelz, Rich Swann, and Motor City Machine Guns. Let us know. And then Baby New Year is the last one. Baby New Year's 2020 was Chris Bay. 2021 was Steve Macklin. That's the rookie we're most excited for. That's going to go in the future. That could be a part of Impact, and mess some stuff up. I think there's some more people we're missing, but number one is Bhupinder Gujjar. 2 is Mike Bailey. 3 is Masha, and 4 is Giselle. And that's what getting Killer Kelly, just trying to slim, her off the. Let us know what you think of that. Make sure you look out for the voting. Oops, I'm messing stuff up as we get out of here. But yeah, let us know what you think. Make sure you hit up those polls. I see a lot of hopefully Osprey in 2023, another round of Switchblade. I agree with all of that. But this is the end, my friends. We thank you. Lucha, you want to hit your shouts? Oh, and your plug, right? Power Rankings coming soon.
Yep, coming soon. In 2 weeks?
Yeah, something. We'll make it happen. We'll figure it out.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. Top of the year.
2023 will be the year of the
not fully ironed, but we are what it is coming. I think we're just gonna stick to the gimmick of not telling y'all what the date is, so then I just pop up and it's like, oh shit,
it's a new show.
Yeah, so I'm coming alive.
Suicide.
Lucha side. Okay, no. Okay, no. Shout out Diamond Villains. Shout out Mike G. Shout out Impact Wrestling. It's not just about us. Y'all don't have to get your Impact news and reviews from us. Hell, we're not even news. We're just, we're just telling you how exactly. We're looking at the nonsense of it, the fun of wrestling, of Impact. You want to go and look for whatever, for any other angle, go watch any other guys. We want y'all to, because the more people that watch, the more stuff, the more Impact is out here living. And it would have been like basically Impact Wrestling will be the most grassroots fucking promotion ever. You know what I'm
Has
saying?
been.
We're doing this. It's the Impact Wrestling media is us.
There we go. Look at that. As Luke's just saying, it's the same thing we say all the time, man, because it's true. This is about growing Impact Wrestling. We're not slaying it with 100, 200 views. It is what it is. It's a small sample size.
But we
There's
love y'all
Oh, we love you.
motherfuckers
Yes.
though.
Get them up. Of course, the more the merrier, as long as you're listening to Impact, as long as you're trying to do something for them. And just change the narrative. That's all it takes. One step at a time, change that narrative. Be the person that crosses the line. I think we should bring that back for sure. But that being said, go check out all the shows on this channel, man. Love to all of them. Check out GoGo Power Rankings on Tuesday and the season finale of LOL TNAIW. Thursday, Talking Buddy Nonsense. Let's go, everybody. And check out Impact this Thursday, of course. A couple bangers to end the year. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Tia, 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 Tia.